Okay, in focus.
Well, I just thought we'd look at something that we haven't really talked too much about of late, and that is the soft and agricultural commodities. And the question is, have we bottomed yet? And of course, we've, not just myself, but many other people have been talking about falling metals and oil prices over the course of 2015. But soft and agricultural commodities have, an important impact too, particularly as benchmarks as regards, or part of the makeup of consumer prices and inflation figures generally. The question I wonder now is, are we perhaps starting to see a bottom form in some of these commodities? And the table here just takes a selection of agricultural and soft commodities, and just highlight one or two things that seem to be improving. Year-to-date moves to the far right-hand side, but if we look at sugar there, for instance, down a whopping 27.6% year-to-date. But over the last week, we've seen decent bounces. And that may well continue. There's also been a marginal improvement over the last week in things like lean hogs, and more recently, yesterday in New York coffee. So whilst it might be too early to say definitively that things are bottoming out, there are some early signs that might be the case, and we'll very much be keeping a watching brief, because an improvement in these kind of commodity prices could ultimately filter through into inflation.
Okay, well, that's a slightly optimistic end to the programme on that. Hopefully we'll see, we'll all be revealed at 1:30 in terms of the non-farm payrolls. We're not here on Monday because of the Labour Day holidays. I presume it's going to be quiet, quieter for the most markets on that day. But Darren Sinden, thanks very much for that, and we'll see you next week.